don't remember when I saw this. It was maybe a couple weeks ago, maybe a week ago. I don't know. A couple weeks ago sounds about right. I saw a video of this race car driver, and the guy was in a race, obviously, and it was shot from inside the car. And the guy in his headpiece, their pit crew or whatever, was telling him where he needs to be in order to, make it to the next thing. I don't know shit about this NASCAR stuff or whatever that was. Anyway, so he was telling him what he needed to do, but he was behind. And so the guy that was driving, his response was, I might not get it exactly right, but roughly what he said is, I'm just going to keep my foot on the floor until I see God or the checkered flag. And this video was, I guess the audio was put on the wrong video, and there's some kind of like people talking about that and shit. And so I ended up looking into it, and the guy ended up like accomplishing the goal, and he ended up crashing, and it got me into this thing. Like he survived, everybody survived, but it got me thinking about it. I was like, man, that's pretty crazy to be so all in that you're like, I'm either gonna die or I'm gonna accomplish my goal. And obviously, I don't have anything in my life that's gonna kill me, within my goals and all this stuff. But I was wondering how I could apply that kind of mindset, or at least kind of like have this sort of all in kind of mindset. And I do to a certain extent, but there's a lot of times when there's things that I know I need to do, and it's really hard to get myself to do it. And I know I'm not alone with that. A lot of people struggle with this kind of thing. And so I was just thinking a lot about that. Then I saw another video by a guy, I believe his name is Scott Adams. And I also don't remember word for word what he said, but it kind of helped and tied into this a little bit. He said something like, what if laziness was about you thinking about the effort it's going to take rather than the outcome? And then he repeated it, and that got me thinking, and I was like, that's why I procrastinate on just about everything, is because I think about everything that I'm going to have to do in order to get to the other side, to whatever it is that I'm trying to do. Like even in the moment. So it's like a couple of examples, like it's so stupid, but like I hate having to like look at data and put it into things. So like payroll is always a pain in the ass because I have to go into the calendar, make sure everybody's clock ins look right and fix their shit when they forget to clock in or clock out or all these kind of little things. So I got to do all of that. And then I got to go in and convert the numbers to decimals because for some reason it doesn't fucking do that on its own. And then there's this kind of like nervous feeling of like, I got to make sure everything's right because I don't want people's pay to be wrong and all this kind of stuff. So as I'm every other Wednesday, this goes through my mind and I'm like, oh man, fucking payrolls today. And I got to do this and I got to do all that. And I'm just thinking about all that stuff. And I'm not thinking about the feeling that I get when payroll is done. And I'm like, cool, that's done. I did all that shit that I hate doing and it's out of the way and, everything's on time. I don't think about that. I think about all of the shit that I have to do. And another example, just recently, we just released the orange drip machines and metal machines. And I've had the paint to release the orange, I think for several months now, 4 months. I don't know. It's been a long time. The paint's just been sitting there and it's like a pretty considerable investment because we buy 15 gallons for each color of all of those products. So it's pretty expensive to buy that much paint. And I bought 30 gallons because usually just in case like the color is super popular and we sell way more than we expected, I'm like, I want to make sure we have some on hand. So 30 gallons of really high quality paint is not cheap at all. But I'm thinking about what do I have to do to release this orange? I got to shoot all the photos and every single marker has to have a different photo, for each color. So every color of all the drip machines, every color of all the metal machines, every color of both refills for the things. I got to reshoot all the bundles. I got to rework all the pricing for the bundles because there's now more products, not all the bundles, but some of them, there's more products in there. So the price is going to be slightly different. So when I think like, cool, I want to release this orange, I'm not thinking like, oh, it's going to be cool. People have been asking for it. It's a really nice color. You know, the paint came out real good. You know, it's flowing nice. I'm not thinking about all this stuff like, oh, I'm going to have this new color out on the market and something that people want. I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about all the shit that I have to do to get to that. And then I just put it off. I'm like, no, I'll get to it. We'll get it out, you know? And then at one point, it's now August 20th. I was talking to Jessie about it, and she was like, well, you're pretty close to October, so you might as well wait till Halloween because it's orange, and then you could do this whole orange and black thing and all this kind of stuff. And so I was like, oh yeah, cool. So I was giving myself a pass to not release it, you know? And then the other day I was just like, fuck this, man. I'm just going to put this fucking thing out. Cause not only did I already have all the paint for several months, I had already reworked all the pricing. I shot all the photos. Everything was pretty much ready to go. And the last lagging sort of pain in the ass thing was to like put everything on the website. And so even that's kind of a pain in the ass because you have to replace every single photo of every single marker, every single bundle, change the copy on everything, make sure the proper amount of colors is on there, all this shit. So then again, I'm thinking about all that stuff. And so the day that I decided to release it, I just kept telling myself, I'm like, just do it right now, like right now. So I called Jasmine over at the shop and I'm like, hey, I'm just going to put this out right now. Like we were going to plan this whole thing where we did it in the morning so nobody's on the website. And I'm like, I just have to get this done. I have to get this done, you know, because I'm putting it off. And anyway, that was kind of long, but those are just examples of many things, you know, even this podcast, it's like, I want to get it out there because I know that there's people out there that like it. I get a lot of messages of people saying they like this content. And I enjoy putting that stuff out there. I enjoy like having that out there. And if it's helping people, like that's awesome. That's one of my goals in life is to try to pass on information that was helpful to me to other people. But then when I think like, oh, you know, I got to record a podcast and I'm like, I don't know what to say. Is it going to be good? You know, what if the recording fucks up and I got to do it over again? And then I got to do all these things to get it ready to put on the thing. I got to shoot these photos. And I think about all the stuff that has to get done to make it happen. And then I put it off. And then you see what I don't know if you're paying attention, you saw that like I didn't release the episode. I think it was like over a month. I thought it was a month, but I think it was more like 6 weeks. Because every time I thought about it, I was like, fuck, man, I got to do that. And I don't want to do all these things. I want the thing to be done. And I don't want to do all the stuff to get it there. And I'm even like that with painting. Like I find myself, I only enjoy the first, you know, hour or so of painting a piece. And then I start to not enjoy it. And I start to just want it to be done. So when I think about painting, it makes me really happy when the piece is done and I know that it's out there and it exists. And I'm like, that's the payoff that I wanted. But it's rare that I actually enjoy the whole process anymore, even though I still want to do the thing, you know, and I still want to get it out there. So anytime like I think about, oh, I haven't painted for a long time, those same things go through my mind. I'm like, oh man, it's going to be hot outside and all the fumes and shit. And then when I'm done painting, I'm going to feel like all this paint on me. And, you know, it's like, it's part of the game. And like, I've done that countless times, but like, I still go through all those things in my mind. So, the shift to thinking about the payoff and just kind of like suppressing those thoughts of like, oh, I have to do this, and that to get to that payoff. And just only thinking about the payoff, I've been finding a lot more helpful. And also just this very basic thing of this trying to incorporate this do it now mentality in my mind. It's like a lot of things. Like this morning, I wrote my power list out and payroll was on there. And as soon as I finished writing my power list, I'm like, I should just do this right now. I'm already sitting at the computer. I'm just going to do it. And I just knocked it out. And that shit doesn't even take long. That's what's so frustrating about a lot of these things, because they almost never take as long as is my head is telling me, my head's telling me it's going to take all this time and all this pain in the ass. But then when you actually sit down to do it, you're like, fuck, man, I've been putting this thing off for so fucking long. And it's been in my mind the whole time. And all I had to do was just knock it out. And then not only do I get to feel that payoff of getting the thing done, but I didn't have to like deal with this shit just like going around in my head. Like, man, you got to get that done. And I'm like, oh yeah, but it's going to take this and that. And I don't want to do all of that stuff. And you're doing that shit like over and over. I am in my mind. And it's like, all I had to do was just knock it out and I wouldn't have to deal with any of that stuff. Obviously, life is never finished until it's actually finished. So there's always going to be another thing. But at the same time, if you adopt these kind of concepts in your mind, that's like, think about the payoff and then also think about just do it now and just get it done. You'll get to that payoff a lot faster. So anyway, if you find this helpful or valuable in any way and you feel like sharing it with somebody, I would really appreciate it. That's the only way to grow a podcast, is for people to share it. Obviously, if you think it sucks, don't share it. But if you do enjoy it, it would be really helpful and I'd appreciate it. So I will see you guys next week. I'm committed to getting back on track. So thank you guys, and I'll see you soon. All right.
Appreciate each and every one of you guys who are supporting the cause and continue to spread the love. And yeah, stay up.